Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today is Best of One Day. So what are we playing today? Well, let's go into the deck list and check out a Temur ramp deck. So this is one that I've played on stream once or twice before, but not actually given it the full time of day, really. So, you know, this is kind of going to be the premiere for this deck anyway. So this is kind of a all-in ramp deck, I would call it. It very much focuses around like additional land drops, landfall triggers, getting double mana with Nikia, and we're running a whopping 28 lands in this list, and the reason for that is because we're running Wayward Swordtooth, and the more lands you have in your deck, the better Wayward Swordtooth becomes. So the idea of the deck is we're going to ramp really hard, so like turn 1 Llanowar Elves into turn 2 Wayward Swordtooth, make 2 additional land drops, up to like 5 or 6 mana on turn 3, play Nikia, which doubles all of our mana, and then we go for a big Hydroid Krasis, refill our entire hand, and just win the game on the spot, pretty much. You know, it's hard to come back from value like that if we're like turn 4, X7, Hydroid Krasis, things like that. It's very difficult to really get back in the game at that point. So that's the idea of the deck. Let's do a quick little deck tech. So as I mentioned, turn 1 Llanowar Elves, just to allow us to ramp into our Swordtooths, as well as just generally having more mana for the turn. We do have Dry Greenseekers in here because we do of course have additional lands, so Dry Greenseeker has a very good chance when you look at the top card of your library with its ability that you actually hit a land which effectively draws you a card. And additional land drops are pretty sweet because we have Wayward Swordtooth that allows us to make additional land drops. We have things like Nikia that benefits from as many lands in play as possible. And we even have Tatyova, who says whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and you draw a card. So if we have like Tatyova and Swordtooth in play, we can play a land, draw a card. If it's a land, we can play it again, so we gain another life and draw a card. So we can really just churn through the deck, find our Hydroid Krasis, and just draw the other half of our deck. Pretty sweet. So I'm sure most of you will know what Hydroid Krasis does at this point, but for the most part, let's walk through it, shall we? Green and blue and X. You can pay X and you draw X cards and gain X life, which is half of the amount that you've paid. So let's say we do Hydroid Krasis X6, that would be half of that would be 3 cards and 3 life. So we get a 6/6, 3 cards and 3 life. And that's on the cast trigger as well. Even if your opponent counters this spell, we're still getting those cards and that life as well. So we're really just benefiting 100% from this card. It is stupid. And yeah, it wins the game on the spot because it ends up being too big for your opponent to deal with. And, you know, even the cards that you're drawing just allow you to churn into something pretty disgusting anyway, because we've probably already got our engine pieces in play. We have Incubation Druid, which serves the same purpose as Llanowar Elves. However, this one does have an Adapt 3, which means we can pay 5 mana and put 3 counters on Incubation Druid. And Incubation Druid says if we have a counter on it, then we get to add 3 mana of any type. So this becomes basically a Gilded Lotus, which is pretty sweet. We have no ways of actually getting this countered up in any kind of unconventional way. We'll only be doing with the adapt, but because we're generating double mana anyway, we should be able to adapt quite nicely. So this is a mana dock that can also become a 3/5 in the late game. Pretty solid stuff. Next we have Skagan Hellkite, which combos beautifully with Nikia of the old ways. Skagan Hellkite is a 5 mana 4/4 with Riot and Flying. So Riot says we can either have this come into play as a hasty creature, so a 5 mana 4/4 with haste, or we can bring it in as a 5 mana 5/5 with Flying, but then it also gets the activated ability here, which is 4 mana, 3 and red, to deal 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets, but you can only do this if it has a counter on it, so 9 times out of 10 we do want to go for the counters on this one, unless we're being heavily aggressive. But with the double mana off of Nikia, it basically means that 2 lands are enough to activate Hellkite, so we can actually activate several times in the same turn with a Hellkite if we've got Nikia in play and a decent amount of lands. Finally, we've got Ravager Worm as well, because we are a very all-in deck, but Ravager Worm allows us to do a little bit of interaction all the same. So it's 6 mana for a 4/5 with Riot again, so it could be a 5/6 or a 4/5 with haste, And when it enters the battlefield, we either get to fight a creature we don't control, so clearing the way for our big Hydroid Krasis or anything of that nature, or we can destroy a land with an activated ability that isn't a mana ability. So Search for Azcanta and Arch of Araska are two of the big ones. Field of Ruin to a certain extent as well, but you probably don't want to be risking hitting a Field of Ruin and having them activate in response or anything like that, because it's, you know, just lost value. But yeah, it's a reasonable one, and it still has value even if there's nothing to fight or nothing to kill. And as I mentioned, we are running a whopping 28 lands in this list, so we're hoping to have enough to play Swordtooth down and make additional land drops. That's kind of the idea. We are very all-in, so there's a good chance that if we empty our hand out and our opponent deals with it, we just lose on the spot. But if we can actually gain the value off of like Hydroid Krasis to refill, that's basically how we win this game. So 2 islands, 5 mountains, 5 forests. We're only really splashing blue for Hydroid Krasis and Tachiova, hence the basics here being dwarfed by our Gruul, because we're basically a baseline Gruul deck. Same thing kind of goes for the non-basics as well, for Rootbound Crag, for Stomping Grounds, and then all of our blue is found in the breeding pools and hinterland harbours, just to make sure that we have these guys down whenever we need them. If we really do need a pathetic Hydroid Krasis X like 3, 4, or anything like that, then I want to be able to actually do that in a turn. So that's going to be the deck tech. I do actually have a sideboard for this one, so you can check that out in the deck list below. I'm not going to go through it though, because I'm just going to play this one in the best of ones, but as a brief summary of the sideboard, it is kind of a transformational kind of style, and it's one of the few decks that I've ever built where taking out lands is actually the correct thing to do when you're sideboarding. So you might notice there's a lot of non-creatures here, which Nikia of the old ways, who generates double mana, actually doesn't allow you to cast them as the downside, essentially, which is why they're all in the sideboard. But if we're up against like a control matchup or something like that, want to play the game a little bit slowly, so we cut out the Nikias and then bring in some of our non-creature stuff. We can also go a little bit more aggro with the Gruul Spellbreaker, Thrashing Brontodons to take care of wilderness reclamations and things like that, and then just negates so that we can protect our board and just protect our little combo a little bit better, essentially. But yeah, we're going to be playing it in the best of ones, but the best of 3 sideboard is there if you are interested in it. It does reasonably well. I don't suspect that it's going to be a mythic rank kind of deck, but you know, I'm all here for fun. Hopefully you guys are too. Without further ado, let's get into the games so I can showcase the deck. Alrighty then. Oh, there's an update available apparently. Oh, my phone's exploding. Jesus Christ, Fenton. Yeah, let's take this hand. Alright, let me close that and put that on silent. So we've got a lot of shock lands here, which is awkward. But as long as we keep a reasonable amount of lands in hand, Greenseeker helps us with that, then these Swordtooths are going to get some value. Grixis for our opponent. Alright, well, I can do the Greenseeker here. And setting up keeps stop, although it looks like it might just end up dying. Cast down. Yep, sure. Why not? Alright, so we've got guaranteed ramp with 1 Swordtooth here, which is nice. Ooh, we don't even have to shock ourselves for it either. Yep, tap land go. If we get an untapped land, then we can go land, Tachiova land, but they've cast down our Swordtooth, so no problems there. Yeah, I'm going to wait until... Oh. No, I'm not going to wait until anything now, because there goes Tachiova. Yep. She's harder to deal with as well because she's legendary, so if my opponent draws the 16th cast down, then can't use it that way. It's not bad. Alright, well, we're just going to play the Swordtooths, tap land, see if we can get our opponent to just use more removal, or waste more removal on a Swordtooth. Should be more clear about that. If they bowl us, then we've got 1 spare Swordtooth that honestly just has no value here anyway, so... Growl. Only -3s.
Oh, come on. I just want to peek. The weight is killing me.
So yeah, can't kill the Swordtooth, but we can't kill the Ral either, so there is that. Rootbound Crag makes this an X4 Hydroid Krasis. I can accept that. That's not too bad. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 9. We might as well play it though. Makes this Swordtooth enable the others. So now they're going to need an answer to our Swordtooth, otherwise they're probably going to lose their Ral. Ravager Worm can take down Bolus, if we want to go that route. Cry of the Carnarium, okay. Moment of Craving for Krasis? Yeah, sure. Okay. And then -3s on the Ral. Yeah, okay. That's all great for us. I love every single bit of tech that just happened there. Ooh. Well, I think we're going to run right into Ral. Just take him out of there. It's card advantage to remove him, so... Get on in. Nothing to fight, no lands to kill, so...
Isn't over.
It's just a 4/5. But, I mean, it's a 4/5 that kills a Planeswalker, so... I'll take it. No! Oh my god! Why are you so good at top decking, opponent? Oh, why am I so bad? Alright. Well. Swordtooth. And land just to get the City's Blessing, I guess. Yep. Top tier top decks right there. We'll play Nikia. If we draw any of our other Hydroid Krasis, we probably win on the spot thanks to Nikia. This game with Swordtooth, they won't block. And we could be okay as long as our opponent doesn't have the 2 best cards in their entire deck. Judging by the fact they're going to our face means that they can't really interact with my creatures. Nickel Bolus, okay, that's up there on best cards of all time. And Rootbound Crag's up there on worst cards of all time. So, I mean, we could swing in with both of these. They're a land off of just flipping Bolus, and then we just end up losing everything anyway. Ravager Worm gets blocked by Niv Mizzet. But then they'd take 10 and go to 3. Yeah, I think we're fine just taking a trade. I don't really want to lose a 4/5 in the process of trying to deal 10 to them, I don't think. Thinking of blocking? Oh, they might have a Moment of Craving, maybe. Nope. Alright. Probably a land for Bolus, then. And... let's leave the Rootbound Crag in hand just for Thought Erasure, gotcha situations. Disinformation campaign, sure. Tap lands. They're gonna need something good. Incubation Druid's not good for us. We are doing very badly on the top deck war. Chumps. Goes to 4. We will Druid, because we can adapt it and turn it into a 3/5. Opponent counters, just so they can see some extra cards off of the Surveil and the Campaign. Dumps a land, so we kind of did them a favour, honestly, there, but how are we to know, really? Campaign for the dig. Like, Vraska's Contempt on Swordtooth's probably the best thing they can do. Yep, alright, and they don't have it. Whew, that was pretty close. We drew so many garbage cards, it was unreal, but... that garbage setup was enough to take them down, I suppose. So, yeah, we'll take it. It's kind of what you get for just firing off your cast downs on crappy little creatures like the Dryad. But there you go. Alright, next game. Alrighty then, we have double Green Seeker, which is, I mean, if we're lucky, it's good. If we're not, it's real bad, so I think you know, I think you know how well these are going to perform, but I like to play the game as though I'm not me, and therefore these Green Seekers are going to hit something good, as opposed to repeatedly hitting something terrible. But we're going to try it out. Looks like we're up against Mono Red, so Hydroid Krasis looks good if we can get all the land drops. And they have a slow start. Is this light up the stage? Yep. Never don't have it. Ooh, and even risk factor. So there's going to be land risk factor for them, which is fine, I guess. Alright, Green Seeker with an upkeep stop. See if we can get those lands off the top. See if we can just get our opponent to pick at our Green Seeker. I mean, they can't risk factor and attack us in the same turn, so we've got that going for us. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they'd be discarding to hand size anyway if I did this. So it was just a 3 mana draw 2. Divination. Woo. Yeah, okay. Good old divination. Right, let's have a look-see. Do we get a land? Hell yeah, we do. Alright. And draw for the turn. Ooh, boy, I think we win, ladies and gents. Wayward Swordtooth coming out to make additional land drops for the turn. Let's get an upkeep stop for that Green Seeker. Play our Stomping Ground tapped. And yeah, we're going to be getting a pretty big Hydroid Krasis pretty soon, especially if we can get 2 more lands. That'd be nice. Well, an average size Hydroid Krasis into a slightly bigger Hydroid Krasis. So they can hit us for 3, which is fine. Wow. The amount of care I could not give for that Wayward Swordtooth is fantastic. Couldn't even block. Wow! Oh my god, the value for me. Alright. Oof. So you are going to cost 6, so you're coming out the turn after next. So for now we could do a Hydroid Krasis X3, which is mediocre at best, or I could do the Green Seeker here, just as a blocker for Firebrand, eats more removal, which is not going to our face. All looks pretty good to me. So yeah. Gonna throw something in the way of the Green Seeker. Awesome. Fantastic. And risk factor. This time we'll take some damage. That was one from hand as well. Interesting. Down to 9. Alright, so we have no upkeep stop anymore, unfortunately. So we could do the Ravager Worm fight Lava Runner. Or we could do Hydroid Krasis X4 gaining 2. I think I could do the X4 gaining 2. And drawing 2. Yeah, looking for something decent like that. Seems good. If we draw a land, Swordtooth's pretty nice. Just ramping again into the next Hydroid Krasis. Eating up removal so that they are not pointing at our face. All of this is fantastic. Risk factor. Dumping Chain Whirler. We'll take the damage this time. Keep them low on cards and then use... Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Burn me, daddy. Burn me. It's fine by me. Oh, yes. The value. Alright. There's a land. Alright, so we can go... Swordtooth. Into Hintland Harbour, into Llanowar Elves. Into Breeding Pool tapped. City's Blessing enabled, so they can't get through with the Firebrand. And pass up. And as long as we don't die next turn, we've got a Hydroid Krasis X6. 7, actually. 8 if we draw a land. That's pretty good. Risk factor. Yeah, take damage. Because we're going to gain loads of life. Oh, yes. Alrighty then. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Draw 4. There's Nikia. Turn late, but we'll take her. All the same. Tap land. And then swing for 5. I'm sure they're going to block now. So they need to top deck over the next few turns and get us down to 0, which is not unreasonable, but I think they die before they can get even their best top decks here. So block and take us to 6. Oh, God. Oh, I don't even want to tell you how insignificant that play was. Good God. Yep, alright. Good stuff. Next game. Alrighty then, we're in, and we don't have any mana dorks, which makes this hand sketchy. We also are not guaranteed to even get Wayward Swordtooth value off of this hand, because we don't have 4 lands in play. I think I'm going to mulligan this one. I think there are better hands, and this one is one of them. Okay. So we're ramping up into Tachiova. Maybe we ramp into something else. I don't think we need a third Incubation Druid, unfortunately. So let's shock this in. As long as we're not against mono red, it's not really a problem to do that. Just get the ramping going. There's Nikia. Okay. So we got 5 mana next turn if we draw a land, which is enough for Nikia, who doubles all of our mana. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Alright, get down, Nikia. Do you have any counter magic for creatures? I'm kind of fine if Nikia bites the dust on this one. Sure. Because we just have Tachiova into a land now, so we can just start redrawing off of our land drops. It's Grixis. Okay. See if we can make this resolve. We do. Land, draw a card. Hydro Crisis, pretty solid. It's where I would have loved Nikia to be in play, but the opponent's a rude boy. Do we get bolused? Content the Tachiova. Okay. And, wow, we just play another one. Alright. I think we'll go with a Hydro Crisis X4. I'm not sure on that one, actually. We could do Incubation Druid, Adapt. 3 mana, play Incubation Druid, just so that we've got more for the Hydroid Crisis, but there's a good chance that they just have removal for the Druid. And the only reason they haven't used it is because it's just an O2 at this point. I also have to consider Bolus coming down and whatever cards left in my hand I have to discard, or at least one of them. So I don't really want to lose Tachiova, and I certainly don't want to lose Hydroid Crisis, so playing the Incubation Druid can be a bit sketchy. I don't know why it wants to leave my O2 untapped, but power to you, I guess. Deck. Seem to know better than me. Yeah, let's just play the Tachiova down. Land drops are awesome then. And there's Bolus. Alright. So dump the Druid. And Stomping Ground untapped. Lose 2, gain 1. Now we've got 3, 4, 5 on the Hydroid Crisis, so it blocks Nicol Bolas just nicely. I like it. And additional land drops for Tachiova. So now he's got to decide which one's the bigger threat, the 5/5 Trampler or the 3/3 that's drawing me cards every turn. And every turn, it shall draw. Okay, so they want to kill the Crisis, that's fair. Oh my god. Okay, that's pretty good. So we can go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can basically just do everything here. Do I want to shock out the Stomping Grounds? I could hit something I want to use the red mana for. Yeah, let's do it. It's only going to cost me 1 life to test the waters, as it were. I'm going to go here, red. Actually, do we want to go there, red? Green, red, 1, 2, 3, 4 mana total. Just play Elves and Green Seeker. I was hoping I could maybe adapt the Druids, which I suppose I can. Yeah, I can adapt the Druid and play Nikia instead. That might be the better line, I'm not entirely sure on that one. Because also getting Green Seeker, taking lands off the top is card draw, where Tachiova's also doing a job. I mean, hitting something like Wayward Swordtooth and then... Oh, God. Ugh. Do we steal?
Please.
Or do we just discard?
A chase stokes the forge.
A chase stokes the forge.
True for my freedom.
Ooh, untaps. Gives themselves 3 mana if they want it. And we lose the Incubation Druid to combat. Well, we're losing it anyway, and they have no mana, so let's just block. And it dies. Oh boy! Oh my god. Alright, so land drop, draw a card, gain a life. Whiff. Okay. Well, we can kill Angrath here, which is reasonable. Let's do Incubation Druid. I want to go to combat first because it's scaring me that I have a Llanowar Elves here. I don't want it to tap it because it's what I need to kill Angrath. So I imagine they block the Llanowar Elves, yep.
I've weathered tougher storms than you.
Have you now? Alright, then we adapt. With some mana floating, play Green Seeker. And play Swordtooth. And play Llanowar Elves. All the mana in the world. Just need to find a way to use it. So, I mean, Hydroid Krasis is basically an auto win at this point. Krasis for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, Hydroid Krasis X 16. If we draw it off the top. Even if that was to get countered, I don't think we can lose at that point. Alright, Green Seeker, do your thing. It's a land. Awesome. Draw. Hinterland Harbour. Okay, so go to main phase, draw a card, gain a life. It's Green Seeker. Draw a card, gain a life. It's a Hellkite. I think I want Incubation Druid. Actually, no, we can just kill... Yeah, we can kill Bolus here, so it doesn't really matter them not using my Incubation Druid, so 2 points there. Yep. This game can screw you a little bit with your auto taps, unfortunately, but even floating mana it doesn't behave sometimes, but it is what it is. Alright, then we point another 2 here. Looks like it's behaving this time around. And then we point another 2 here, so Skagan Hellkite has just dealt 8 damage, divided as I choose. And they're at 2. They need a board wipe or it's a bust. I don't think there's literally anything else. A Hellkite that's dealing 8 damage a turn is quite a lot. Yep, you can take my Green Seeker. Have fun. Next. Thief of Sanity. Dead boy. You dead. Dang it. Alright, yep, kill Thief of Sanity. Could kill my opponent then, but we're going to all attack and go for style points, of course. And yeah, that's the deck doing what it's supposed to do. Pretty good. Pretty good. Alrighty then, we're in. We got 2 Mana Dorks that leads into a Ravager Worm. It's not a crazy good hand, but if we find Swordtooth, it's good. Nikia, it's awesome. Tachiova, it's awesome. Yeah, we got a lot of good top decks here, so we're going to take this one. We don't even have to shock ourselves with this hand either. So, pretty nice. What are we up against? More mono red? Oof. It's a mono red day today. There's Tachiova. Okay, so let's just play the Incubation Druid. Gives us 4 mana next turn, though I don't expect the Incubation Druid to live. No, it does. Alright. Fortunately, 4 mana, not that much different. Yeah, I guess we can do Islands, Swordtooth. Shock for Incubation Druid? Do I want to do that? Gives me 5 mana if they just kill 1 Druid, so we can play Tachyova, and then a land drop off the top is sweet. If it hits another land, then we, thanks to Swordtooth, get some more life. I think it's fine. You can even use Ravager Worm to fight Steamkin next turn if everything survives. And if we really want to, we have a little bit of a buffer to block Steamkins to protect our life total a bit. Alright, I think what we're going to do is just fight the 3/3 Steamkin here. And they have, like most people, forgotten that Swordtooth can't block. Alright, so it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Unfortunately, not quite enough to get the City's Blessing so that it can actually block. But we're just going to fight. Let's make it have a counter so it's a 5/6 and insanely difficult to die. Fights a creature we don't control. This one right here. And yeah, we got a solid blocker now with what is eventually going to be a good blocker. We just need lands off the top, honestly. Alright, and this Steamkin can't get big enough, honestly, to get through the Ravager Worm at any point, so we have nothing to worry about there. But it will, of course, be used for mana here, so... Chain Whirler. Could kill our Druids if they've got another bit of damage. They've got the Lightning Strike, and they've also got the Firebrands. So they can kill a bit of stuff here. Going for face. Okay. And passes. Ooh, that's a good draw. Alright, so Tachyova. I like gaining life. Let's do tap lands. I'm not sure we could hit anything that's a 2-drop that I care to play there. But extra land drops is ideal. So gain some more life. We have more life later down the line. And I think we just swing in with the Ravager Worm here. Yeah. Could be sketchy because it kind of encourages all attacks and things like that, but I think it's just going to be Firebrand Chump and then... Oh, no. I was expecting Firebrand Chump, kill Llanowar or hit our face. I think either one of those is fine, honestly. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the Alpha Strike that's coming soon. Gonna kill Tachyova? Yeah. It was gaining me an absurd amount of value, admittedly. Alright. If they all attack, we get to take something good with us. Yep, that gets to die. Or those. Gonna be Chain Whirler. They don't have a way to pump extra damage in to kill Swordtooth. Oh. Well, Steamkin dies then. So we take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a lot. Not gonna lie, we need something like Hydroid Crisis to dig us out of this one. Ugh, come on. So let's assume the worst card of all time comes off this top. They've got Light Up the Stage. They take us to 3 with Firebrand to enable Light Up the Stage. They then have 2 cards. I mean, they have Lethal Honors with the Nut Draw. If they just draw a land, which is probably unlikely, but let's assume that's the worst case scenario. They Alpha Strike me because I attack them because I don't have time not to. And then I do 1 adapt on Incubation Druid. Get in there. Yeah, I think I just died to pretty much everything. Block on Firebrand, hit me face to 3. We needed, like, actually, like, Hydroid Crisis to gain life there, or even Tachiova would have brought us back out from the brink, I think. But a land shall not do. Tap land and just hope for the best, I guess. Oh, also, other tap land. Here they go attacking. Alright, so, go to blocks. Block here, block here, block here, block here. Adapt. And adapt. So that's the thing. I guess worst case scenarios do come true from time to time. Alright. Didn't need Nikia, didn't need Crisis, but we did get some superb Tachiova value, and, you know, a Wayward Swordtooth made many, many land drops for us, so I'll take it. I'll take it. This deck doesn't do terribly against mono red, surprisingly. You know, these red matchups that we've been winning are not actually flukes. You know, if we get any of our life gain down, like Crisis for a huge amount, big blocker they can't get through early, that kind of thing, then mono red pretty much starts a race, but we win it most of the time, I would say. It's a weird one, but yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, that's going to do it for today's episode. I feel like we got some pretty good matchups actually there. Did pretty reasonably. This deck is kind of all in, so if it is allowed to do exactly what it wants to do, then it just smashes. So yeah, we were able to smash, so pretty good. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe as well for some more content in the future. And yeah, if you have any deck ideas, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below, and maybe I'll build them in the future. But without further ado, I'm going to leave the episode off here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.